Hello everyone, this is me G. Vishwaraj from Vishwaraj G College under BTech Information Technology Department. So today I am going to discuss how to write a C program that uses Linux process API, which is fork, wait and execute. So this is the GitHub repository I am using for explaining this programs, but I am now shifting to the presentation. So this is the presentation I am using for explaining this program. So let's move on to what is fork and what is wait and what is execute function. So what is fork function means, it clearly explains it creates a new process by duplicating the calling process. It is similar to an inheritance function. So it just creates a duplicate process from the parent process. And what is wait function means, suspends execution of the calling process until a child process is terminated. So it will wait until the child process is terminated. So this is called as wait function. And what is execute function means, replaces the current process image with a new one, loading a new program into the current process. These are all the function calls I am going to explain now. So let's move on to the GitHub repository once again. This is the first C program in which I am just printing the process ID and parent process ID of the processes. I am just creating two variables called process ID and P process ID, which is nothing but parent process ID, and I am just getting the parent process ID and process ID using get PID and get PPID functions. So I am now just printing the two functions by using the printf statement. So now I am going to Ubuntu to just compile and run it. So I had already compiled the two files, so I'm just running only. So using this terminal, so I had just created the file name as pidcheck.o. So here it is. The process ID is 5080 and the parent process ID is 5558. Sorry, 5058. Sorry. Okay. So now let's move on to the fork. Now let's move on to the fork function. Fork function is nothing but creating new process using the parent process. So here I am using the fork function, and if it is and the PID is equal to 0 means it is a child process, and I am just printing the process ID and the parent process ID of those. If not means it is a parent process ID, and I am just printing the process ID. Parent process ID does not require a get PPID function if it does not have a child process. So I'm just making the process to sleep for 100 milliseconds. So this is the second program. So now again let's move on to the Ubuntu. So I'm just running the forkcheck.o file. So these are all the output of that. It is showing that I am child and my PID is 5082, my parent ID is 5081, and the parent ID is again 5081. So this is the output of this function. And now I am going to the third program, which is execute function. So this is the execute function I am using for explaining this program. So in this case I am using the execute function with ps command, and I am just making the status to wait until the process is complete. So if it is exited correctly means it will print child exited with the status, and I am just printing the status. If not means it will show an error message, and I am just printing the PS with path specified also. In this case I am using the path as bin and PS. So this is the processes, and again I am moving to Ubuntu now. So this is the third program. So and I named it the file as executecheck.o. So this is the output of the file. It will show all the process that changed the image to new one. This is the output of the third function. So if you have any doubts then you can ask me. Otherwise, thank you.